Good morning. This is John Gregory Presco coming to you live from Springfield, Oregon on February 14th, 2022. Um, I was woken by my angel uh, about an hour ago, around 4:30, and I was bid to restore the Holy Roman Empire. And this restoration begins in America, where 40 million Americans uh, identify themselves as descendants of Germans. Um, where do I begin? Donald Trump is backing or giving his name, and he does hold the title president, as all ex-presidents do, and he is an ex-president. The elections were fair. They were not rigged. They were not stolen. But he is backing candidates in Michigan that are running for office. In the United States of America, this democracy uh, on the big lie. What's worse than a big lie? It's treason. It's not true. Trump knows it's true. Everybody knows it's not true. Every evangelical leader in the United States, America knows it's not true. And I bet you Pope Francis knows it's not true. And I'm asking him this very minute to go live on television, whatever, and denounce Donald Trump and his backers. It's an outrage. The papacy cannot support this. We are on the verge of war with Putin. This could turn into a world war. We do not know whether Donald Trump is an agent of Putin. He's acting like it. He's dividing our nation, our democracy, which is vital to the interests of many Western nations in Europe and other nations throughout the world are in grave danger at this hour. The Pope has to denounce Donald Trump and the evangelical leaders and the cult followers who I believe have commandeered our social media. And then there's a farm of them which has been identified, which are using Facebook and others to spread propaganda. And they've been doing this for over 10 years. I've been fighting them. The original Holy Roman Empire was dissolved in 1808 due to Napoleonic Wars. At its height, there were 25 million subjects of the Holy Roman Empire, which stems from Charlemagne, who was a Frankish king. I believe I am descended from the Franks through the Rosamond family of Holland. I believe Gottsdorp Rosemont was my ancestor. He was a good friend of Pope Adrian, and he was the executor of his estate, and he started the Pope's College. He was the master of Louvain and the master of the Falcon Art College. I believe the Rosemont and related families were members of Swan Brethren and commissioned uh, Erroneous Bosk. In looking at the proposal for the A's Coliseum, new Coliseum ball field, and I believe they're going to build apartments around it in Oakland, California, where I was born. Really, I guess, opened my eyes or forced my hand. Regards to accepting who I am. I've been in therapy, looking at some very difficult things to look at that have kept me from being who I am. With help of my therapist, Barbara, coming out of a darkness that very few people have to come out of. And I guess I'm going to make it public because it's really hard for two people to bear. My therapist and I feel for her. But my mother had an affair with my best friend, which caused him to suicide on my 18th birthday, at least a half hour. And I've been kept in the dark about this. My siblings are kept in the dark about this. Destroyed my mother. She became an alcoholic. And of course, the grave concern was that I'd find out and take my own life. The chance that my friend Bill took his life out of guilt and shame and the possibility that I would find out and or he'd tell me was too much. He was a brilliant human being, had an IQ of 180. He was an artist, a playwright, poet. We had one of these rare relationships between two artists and writers. We met when we were 12. And he was 19 when he died. He was 6 months older than me. So my mother was a brilliant woman. She scored the second highest test in the waves and was assigned to spy on the Russians up in Seattle. Whew, there it is. This is what I've been working on for over a year. My mother came from a remarkable family. Her mother, Mary Magdalene Weineke, was from the Weineke family, which pretty much helped these women, this order, the Franciscan order. That's the dedication at Briar College. It's all these nuns and some priests. 3 members of the Weineke and the Stark family became nuns, and Father John was a priest. He went to Louvain and became a priest. They worked with healing children, fighting diseases. It's Mary Magdalene Weineke.
The year was 1929. The inspiration belonged to Mother Dominica Weinecke, Superior General of the Sisters of St. Francis of Dubuque. She wanted to start a college for women in Dubuque. With 2 Catholic colleges already in the area, Archbishop James J. Keene of the Diocese of Dubuque suggested Western Iowa. He contacted Bishop Edmund Heelan of the Diocese of Sioux City, who quickly became an advocate. The Diocese of Sioux City volunteered to donate the land. With the help of Sioux City business leaders, $25,000 was raised to assist with startup costs. A college had been born.
There were not many opportunities for women back in 1929 and 1930 to pursue higher education, but I think
This, I'm really declaring the evangelical religion in the United States of America dead and a heresy. And I'm calling pretty much saying the same for the Protestant religion in America. It's a heresy and it's dead. Its leaders have backed a tyrant, one of the most hateful, racist, neo-Nazi human beings that have walked the earth, who became the President of the United States, thanks to these evangelical Christian right leaders. This is an outrage. He's destroyed the credibility of every religious leader in the United States of America, except for this order. They remain pure. And I'm anointing them the foundation of the new Holy Roman Empire in the United States. And I can't speak for Europe, but why not? Why not? It starts here. There's 40 million Americans, German Americans' ancestry, that can save this country, save this democracy, that need to leave the Protestant, Catholic, evangelical churches this very day. They're not going to condemn Donald Trump. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid of losing their parishioners. They're afraid of people attacking them. They're afraid of assassinations. They're afraid of a lot of things. They're afraid of being exposed. But they've allowed this. And they've been behind this before Trump got elected. They were working hard to take away the power of our democratic process. They've been wanting to turn the United States into a Christian nation based upon the evangelical, neo-Confederate, red state, Southern Baptists that were powered by Billy Graham and Franklin Graham. And Billy Graham went to Switzerland to meet with other Protestant leaders about the possible election of JFK. And they wanted to undermine him. They didn't want him to become president because he was Catholic. Outrageous. I believe with the loss, Germany should have lost the Second World War because of Hitler. Any hope of restoring the Holy Roman Empire was lost when he came to power. And he was the same, cut of the same cloth as Donald Trump. Same kind of human being. A megalomaniac, a narcissistic megalomaniac who thinks he's an immortal and can't lose. And will take everybody down with him. And this is where we are this very evening. Germany has moved some troops into the Baltic states, Estonia. One of them, my Stupmeister ancestors were Teutonic Knights, I believe, from Estonia. There was a Stupmeister providence. But let's go back to Mother Mary Dominica Weinecke. I believe she is my angel in the painting up here. By the way, these are the 2 pages that have saved the ballot boxes when Donald Trump and evangelical leaders conspired to take over our country on January 6th. They were going to destroy the electoral college votes. They were going to hang Mike Pence and probably murder Pelosi. For Trump to condone, to back these candidates in Michigan is a declaration of some kind of holy war on America by the evangelical lunatics. My friend Ed Corbin's mother was a family where it was Plymouth Brethren, and John Darby was teaching a false teaching with the rapture. And so I have a connection there. When the call came for nurses on the battlefield of the Austro-Prussian and Franco-Prussian wars, the sisters responded, earning the Iron Cross from Emperor Augusta and Emperor Wilhelm in 1872 for their service. 2 sisters died of infection while nursing the soldiers. There's a call for, by the evangelical leaders and probably Trump, to send truckers all through America to do what happened up in Canada. Pretty much do what the brown shirts did in Nazi Germany, to intimidate people, spread the lie that the election was stolen, and spread the lie that the Democrats are trying to corrupt, kill, and murder good Christians with vaccinations. This is a horrible, horrible lie that goes with the lie that the election was stolen. It has to be opposed, and it has to be stopped. And this is why I am, on this day, founding the new Holy Roman Empire. And it won't rule America, but it'll be like what the British royals are in England. To gather people together to fight a dark force and a dark lie and dark liars. Can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe that this is what it's come to, but it has. So much work here, so much has come together at this moment. I will give the details on my blog, Royal Rosamond Press, as to why I'm doing this and where I get the authority to do this and what I hope to gain from this. I'm a theologian who's made some amazing discoveries about the Old and New Testament and the teaching of John the Baptist and Jesus. I solved the riddle of what he wrote in the dust and why he healed the boy born blind, why he cursed the fig tree, why they tried to throw him off the cliff. He went from Isaiah. I'm going to be a spiritual leader, not only of this country, but of the world. I'm wearing I guess it's a maple leaf. There's a lot of Catholics in Canada. The Rosamond family were Protestants that waged battles with the Catholics in Ireland. They fled to Canada after one of them killed a Catholic protester that invaded the Rosamond home. I'm looking for unity, unifying aspects of the Protestant and the Catholic divide. The Swan Brethren admitted Protestants and Catholics. So this is ordained. I believe my angel woke me last night. It said restore the Holy Roman Empire. I couldn't believe it. Woke up at 4:30. I said, whoa, that's it. That's what she's been preparing. And she's spoken to me, and I believe she comes from Herford, Germany, with the Order of St. Francis. Mary Dominica Weinecke wrote down, she went to the cave of St. Francis. And there's a book on her, and I can't get my Stark cousin to publish the rest of it. He says it's too absurd. There's some religious declarations that are very absurd. And I believe she's talking about an angel that ordained her and this order to restore the Holy Roman Empire. I believe that's the message that finally came across. When you start thinking about this, it's quite profound. Anyway, I wish you a blessed day. We're going to prevail over darkness. The enemy is at the door, and the angels are on our side.